Well, hello again, students, and welcome to another lesson using Autodesk Inventor Professional 2022. In this lesson, we're going to make the hydraulic arm final assembly. So without further ado, navigate to the Inventor 2022 landing page where you see the Start Working button and select it. Close this inner window and select New Standard IAM and then Create. Once the gray working window opens up for you, note that this is the beginning of the final assembly, and the first piece you're going to need is the Part 8 base. So up in the upper left corner, you're going to see Place, and then remember to navigate up one level, up, up, up to Remote User. Double click from there. Then you hit the G Drive, then you find your hydraulic arm folder, and then you scroll to Part 8 Base and click Open. And then hit Escape once you've placed it, and immediately right-click and select Grounded. That will lock the base to the rotation cube here. See? Now, place, and it looked to me like you're going to need Part 7. So you just scroll to Part 7, Actuator Stop Bar, and select Open. Click and place it there. Now, I'm going to need Part 16. So again, return to Place, scroll to Part 16, Actuator Control Panel. Click and place it here. Hit Escape. And I'm actually going to continue farther down this list until I find the drawing which shows you the specs and how to place all these pieces on the base. So what I'm going to need is the yoke. I believe it is called. Well, let's place the arm assembly. All little sub-assemblies, we'll place them all just to get everything in front. Click. That's the arm assembly. Now I'm going to place the sub base assembly. Click. Hit Escape. And I'm going to place the yoke base assembly. Click. Place it over here. Click. And I believe I do need what's called I think that may be it. No, I'm going to need the pivot rod. Part 2. That's what I need. So return to Autodesk Inventor, place Part 2 pivot rod. Click and set it there. All right. Now that I have all these, let's glue this into position. So this is a stop bar. I'm going to constrain, use the constrain tool a lot here. Constrain. We're already in the mate. So that means I'm going to place glue right on this surface. Click. And then I'm going to rotate and select this surface. Click. And apply. Then I click the flush. Click. And I'm going to select the bottom of this surface here. Click. And the bottom of this plywood base here. Click. And apply. And then I'm going to look at the spec sheet I was telling you about. Here it says it needs a 2.5-inch offset. So I'm going to use the flush tool. So I select flush. I'm going to select this surface here and this surface here. Click. Now that's flush, but you want to enter on the offset 2.5. See how it moved it to the left, and then apply. So that part is in position. Now I'm going to use the mate tool again. So go back to the mate tool and I'm going to select the bottom of this part here, click, and select the top of this plywood here, click, and apply, and return. It shows that it's got a 2.7 inch offset and a 1 inch offset. So go back to the flush tool, click, and I select here and here, click, and then select offset of 2.7, 2.7, see, and apply. And then I'm going to use the flush tool here and here, click, and put a 1 inch offset, 1, and apply. So now I've met the specs for this part. Now I'm going to place this assembly here, this one. So I'm going to go back to the mate tool, select the mate, and then I'm going to find the bottom right here, click, where I apply some glue, and then I'm going to apply glue here, click, and apply. And I'm also going to select flush. That drawing again. It does look flush on the back. So I'm going to select flush here, flush, here, and here, and apply. And then I'm going to look at the spec again. And here I see an offset of 3 inches. So I select the flush tool, and then from the back side of this gusset, let's get it back on track. When in doubt, just square it up right here. So I'm going to be using the flush tool, flush here, here, and then enter 3 and apply. Now that's locked into position. Now I'm going to insert the pivot rod. So you go to constrain, use the insert tool here, insert, select this ring to apply glue to, click. And then if you look at this more from a top down point of view and go all the way to the deepest interior ring here and click another ring, which applies glue, click. Now, if the pivot rod does not stick in the right direction, just select the aligned option and it will reverse the direction and put it in the right position. Apply. So I now have that in position. Next, I'm going to use the insert tool yet again. Select this and this. Am I right? Wait. Let me double check that. Actually, you want to select this ring here. Click and apply. That looks ideal. And now I'm going to use the insert tool here, here, apply. Now I've got it correct. And finally, there is one other piece that you would put in to make this perfect. It's part 4. So place part 4 called the rear pivot rod. Open, click, select constrain, insert here, here. And again, if it doesn't insert, you just flip the solution and apply. And then adjust. And as near as I know, that is the correct construction of the final assembly. You can angle it to an aesthetically pleasing angle. Don't forget to select File, save as, rename it to Final Assembly. Navigate up, up, up to remote user, double click from there to G drive, hydraulic arm, Final Assembly, IAM, save, and double check your work to make sure that it looks just like this. Once again, place it in perspective. Maybe you want to hit realistic, even ray trace it if you want. I have shown this in the past. Disable the ray tracing momentarily. It says bottom, but that's my front. So I'm going to right click on the cube, set current view as front, and that way I'll get my shadows in the proper position. And then hit ray tracing again. To zoom in again to get my best screenshot for my portfolio. That looks good right there. I might just disable and try one more different angle. I like it a little closer, like that. Ray trace it yet again. Once you've successfully ray traced, you just want to hit Control Shift Camera, capture your screenshot, or in my case, print screen. You're going to create an image and turn it in for assignment credit. Final Assembly Part 1. Good luck.